Imagine a book as old as time itself, filled with stories that have shaped civilizations, wars, and inspired billions over the centuries. Now, think about the mysteries hidden within its pages, creatures, and beings whose stories are so enigmatic that they remain an open invitation to curiosity and debate. In this video, we will dive into the darkest and least traveled corners of the Bible to uncover characters that defy our understanding, beings shrouded in mystery, prophecies, and unimaginable powers. From giants to angels, through prophetic figures whose messages resonate to this day, we will explore the most intriguing stories that have perplexed theologians, scientists, and the curious for millennia. Have you ever felt as if something greater was at play in your life? Have you wondered about the hidden purpose behind the world's events? Then, this video is for you. Prepare yourself for a journey of discovery, reflection, and, perhaps, revelation. Without further ado, let's get straight to the point and unravel together the most fascinating mysteries the Bible has to offer. Stay with us, and we promise that your view of the world's best-selling book will never be the same again. In the shadows of the dawn of time, before the flood that reshaped the world, the earth was home to beings of proportions and powers that defy our comprehension. The Nephilim, mentioned briefly in the book of Genesis, remain one of the greatest biblical mysteries. But who were these giants and where did they come from? Genesis 6 verse 4 tells us, "In those days, and also afterward, there were Nephilim on the earth, when the sons of God went to the daughters of men and had children by them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown." But this brief mention opens up more questions than answers. Were the sons of God angels, celestial beings, or something entirely different? Over the centuries, theologians, historians, and the curious have offered countless interpretations. Some see the Nephilim as literal giants, the offspring of divine beings and humans, while others interpret them as great leaders or warriors whose feats elevated them to the status of legends. Regardless of their true nature, the presence of the Nephilim had an undeniable impact on the biblical narrative. Some suggest that their wickedness contributed to God's decision to send the flood. They symbolize the crossing of divine and human boundaries, a recurring theme in many ancient traditions. Interestingly, the legend of the Nephilim finds echoes in mythologies around the world. From the Titans of ancient Greece to the giants of Norse mythology, it seems the idea of powerful beings walking among humans is a universal theme. The Nephilim remain one of the most fascinating enigmas of the Bible. Their story invites us to explore the depths of our faith, history, and human nature itself. Who knows what truths still wait to be discovered in the shadows of the past? And what do you think of the Nephilim? Giants, fallen angels, or simply great men of their time? Leave your comment below and join the conversation. After the creation of man and the origin of the first sins, the Bible tells us about divine beings placed by God at the entrance to the Garden of Eden, the cherubim. Armed with flaming swords, these celestial guardians not only protected the tree of life but also symbolized the separation between the sacred and the profane, the divine and the earthly. But who are these winged beings really, and what is their role in the grand tapestry of faith? The word a cherubim evokes images of infant angels with wings, so common in art and literature, but this modern view is far from the majestic and fearsome biblical description. Represented in various forms throughout the history of Judeo-Christian art, the cherubim are much more than simple messengers or decorative figures. They are powerful spiritual beings that serve directly under the command of the divine, participating in acts of worship and executing divine justice. The presence of the cherubim goes beyond Genesis. They adorn the Ark of the Covenant, with their wings extended over the mercy seat, and appear in prophetic visions, like that of Ezekiel, where they are described as creatures with 4 faces and 4 wings, each representing different aspects of God's creation. This symbolic complexity reflects the multiplicity of ways God interacts with the world and its mysteries. The role of the cherubim is twofold. They are both protectors and vehicles of divine presence. In the tabernacle and Solomon's temple, the cherubim symbolize the holiness and immanence of God among his people. They remind us that the divine is always watching, always present, but also inaccessibly holy and separated from fallen creation. In a world where the sacred and the profane often intermingle, the figure of the cherubim invites us to reflect on our own pursuit of holiness and the presence of God. They challenge us to consider how we protect what is sacred in our lives and how we approach the divine with reverence and awe. Therefore, the cherubim, far from being mere angelic decorations, represent the profound and unfathomable relationship between the Creator and creation, a constant reminder of the majesty and mystery that surrounds the presence of God. As we contemplate these beings, we are invited to worship, to seek, and to marvel at the infinite complexity and beauty of the divine work. In waters so deep that light dares not touch, dwells a creature so formidable that even the bravest tremble at its mention. In the book of Job, we are introduced to Leviathan, a maritime entity that defies any simple description. With scales that are so tightly closed that not even air can pass through, and eyes that emit light, Leviathan is not just a creature of the sea, but an enigma that ends debates and fascinates. But what or who is Leviathan really? Described as the king of all the children of pride, Leviathan transcends the idea of a mere animal. Some interpret it as a representation of primordial chaos, a being that, before the creation of the ordered world, dwelt in the dark waters of non-existence. For others, it is a symbol of the adversity that the righteous face, a manifestation of the internal and external struggles that surround us. But the description of Leviathan goes beyond its formidable physical form. It is mentioned as a creature that no hook, spear, arrow, or sword can dominate. This invulnerability not only emphasizes its power but also serves as a metaphor for the insurmountable challenges we sometimes face, those that seem beyond our ability to conquer. Leviathan is also a testament to divine power. God describes to Job the impossibility of capturing or dominating Leviathan, thus highlighting his own omnipotence and sovereign control over creation. Amidst storms and waves, God remains supreme, capable of commanding even the most formidable creatures. Moreover, Leviathan prompts us to question the relationship between the created and the Creator, between chaos and order, between evil and divine justice. It's a reminder that, in the complex world we live in, there are forces beyond our understanding and control, but that, under the governance of God, have their place and purpose. In conclusion, Leviathan is more than a story of a sea monster. It's a lesson about humility, power, and mystery. It reminds us that, as much as we advance in knowledge and understanding, there will always be mysteries that transcend our ability to fully comprehend. And perhaps, in this relentless pursuit of knowledge, we are closer to understanding not just the world around us but the Creator itself. In the book of Job, we find the description of a creature so immense and powerful that it defies our understanding, Behemoth. This being, described as the first of God's works, symbolizes uncontrollable and majestic forces of nature. But who or what is Behemoth? And what does its presence reveal about the ancient world and the eternal truths contained in the Bible? Behemoth, with its powerful loins and tail that moves like a cedar, holds a prominent place in biblical imagery. Some scholars view it as a hippopotamus, given its physical description and habitat. However, this literal interpretation barely scratches the surface of its symbolic representation and deeper meaning. Indeed, Behemoth transcends mere animal categorization. It is presented as a prime example of divine creation, a being whose strength is paralleled only by the sovereignty of God. This creature is not just an inhabitant of the natural world but a symbol of the earth itself, with its capacity to nurture life and, at the same time, to manifest uncontrollable and overwhelming force. The dialogue between God and Job about Behemoth serves as a humble reminder of man's smallness in the face of creation's majesty. It is a lesson about divine power and wisdom, contrasting with human vulnerability and limitation. God challenges Job, and by extension all of us, to recognize that, as much as we try to control and understand the world around us, there will always be aspects that transcend our understanding and dominion. Furthermore, Behemoth invites us to reflect on the harmony of creation. Despite its formidable strength, it exists within an ordered balance established by God. This balance, between strength and gentleness, creation and destruction, is fundamental to our understanding of the relationship between God, man, and nature. In a fascinating deviation from the themes of faith and morality that permeate the Scriptures, the Bible offers us glimpses into a tumultuous heavenly reality, marked by the fall of angels who once served alongside God. These are the fallen angels, beings who, due to pride or disobedience, left their heavenly posts to face a destiny of exile and punishment. But who are these fallen angels, and what does their story teach us about freedom, choice, and the consequences of our actions? The Epistle of Jude, though brief, sheds light on this mysterious episode, mentioning angels who did not keep their own domain but abandoned their own dwelling. This passage suggests a rebellion in heaven, an act of defiance that resulted in a fall from grace. This narrative is echoed in other religious traditions and apocryphal texts, expanding the story of these celestial beings who chose a path of rebellion. The fallen angels represent the duality of existence. They are the embodiment of the conflict between light and darkness, good and evil, obedience and rebellion. Through their stories, we are invited to reflect on the nature of freedom and choice. The freedom to choose is a divine gift, but it comes with the responsibility for the consequences of our actions. The fall of these angels also serves as a warning against pride and self-exaltation. In their quest for power or recognition beyond their granted state, the fallen angels remind us of the pitfalls of pride and the importance of humility. They dramatically illustrate how wrong choices can lead to a fall, not just spiritual, but moral. Furthermore, the story of the fallen angels touches on the themes of repentance and redemption. While some texts focus on the eternal punishment of these angels, the broader narrative of the Bible emphasizes divine mercy and forgiveness. This leads us to question, is there room for redemption for everyone? The story of these celestial beings challenges our understanding of divine justice and mercy. Finally, the fallen angels make us ponder the balance between order and freedom. They highlight the complexity of the moral universe we live in, a world where the freedom of choice is essential, but where every choice carries weight and consequences. Through their story, we are reminded of the importance of living with awareness, always seeking the path that leads to light. Thus, reflecting on the fallen angels, we are invited to contemplate the depths of human and divine nature, the complexities of freedom and responsibility, and the eternal drama between light and darkness that unfolds both in the heavens and in the human heart. They teach us that, even in the face of downfall, there is always the possibility to choose again, to seek a return to grace. If you want to learn even more about the Holy Bible, watch the video that is now appearing on the screen. Consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. See you in the next video.